Mrs. Benson.
Yes.
Could you call for a moment, Mrs. Benson?
You know, I have my audition, so I should probably leave in about 15 minutes. I don't know New York, so I get lost all the time.
I'll be sure you get off on time. I was hoping that you and I might have a little talk, just us girls together. Would you like some coffee, tea?
No, thank you. But if that apple is still there.
I'm sure it is.
Where's Dawn?
Shopping. You have to be so careful to wash fruits and vegetables these days. They spray all those insecticides and everything on them now. I'm not sure the bugs aren't less harmful. I like my apples to be nice and fresh.
This reminds me of something. What is it?
I have no idea.
You handing me the apple, nice and shiny. Oh, I know. Snow White. You remember when the witch hands her the poisoned apple? Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Baker. I did not mean that the way it sounded. I know you're not a witch.
Of course not. And I know you're not Snow White.
It'll probably be hours before I read. I'd starve to death right before their eyes.
You're gonna get that part, you know.
What makes you so sure?
You're a very pretty girl. And that's all they want with theater, isn't it?
Today you have to have more than just a pretty face. Besides, I'm not really pretty. I think I'm interesting looking, and in certain lights I can be sort of lovely, but I'm not pretty.
Nonsense. You're extremely pretty.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I've got beady eyes like a bird, and a figure like a pogo stick. Well, aren't you going to deny that you said that?
How can I, dear? You obviously heard.
You know, there are plenty of true things you could put me down with. You don't have to put me down with lies.
You know what I like about you?
Uh-huh. Nothing.
Oh, yes. Your honesty. Your candor. You're quite the worldly young woman, aren't you, Mr. Benson?
I suppose I am. Wish you would not call me Mrs. Benson.
That's your name, isn't it? Mrs. Benson?
Yes, but you don't say it as though you mean it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why don't I call you Jill? That's more friendly, and I'll try to say it as though I mean it. Now, Jill. I was wondering what you and Donnie might have in common. He likes you very much.
And I like him very much. You know, he may be one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. I mean, can you imagine going through life and never being able to see anything? Not a painting or a flower or even a Christmas card. I want to die, but Don, he wants to live. I mean, like, really live. And he even kid about it. He's fantastic.
Then you would want what's best for him, wouldn't you?
Now we're getting to it, aren't we? Like maybe I should tell him to go home with you. Is that it?
He was perfectly happy at home until Linda Fletcher fit him with ideas about a place of his own.
Maybe you just want to believe that he can't be happy with anyone but you. You know, there are none so blind as those who will not see. There, I can quote Dylan Thompson and Little Donnie Dark.
You constantly astonish me.
Well, we women of the world do that.
Funny how like Linda you are. Donnie sure is consistent in his girls.
Why do you call him Donnie?
It's his name. Don't I say this though I mean it?
He hates being called Donnie.
He's never mentioned it.
Yes, he has. You just don't listen. There are none so deaf as those who will not hear. You could make up a lot of those, couldn't you? There are none so lame as those who will not walk. There are none so thin as those who will not eat.
Do you think it's a good idea for Don to live down here alone?
You know, I think it's a good idea for Don to live wherever he wants. And he's not alone. I'm here.
For how long? Have you even got a lease on that apartment?
No,
So you could leave tomorrow if you like.
that's right.
You couldn't sustain a marriage for more than 6 days.
My marriage does not concern you.
Oh, it didn't concern you much either, did it?
Yes, it did.
Have you ever thought about what marriage to a blind woman might be like? You've seen Donnie best. In this room, which he's memorized. He's memorized the steps to the drugstore and to the delicatessen. But you take him out of this room or off that street, and he panics. He's lost. Donnie needs somebody that'll stay with him for more than 6 days.
You don't have to worry, Mrs. Baker. Nothing serious is going to develop between Don and me. I'm just not built that way.
Donnie is built that way.
Please, we're just having kicks.
That's how it started with Linda. Just kicks. He fell in love with her, just like he'll fall in love with you. And then what happens?
I don't know.
Stop now before you hurt him.
What about you? Aren't you hurting him?
I can't. I can only irritate him. You can hurt him. The longer you stay, the harder it will be when you leave. Let Donnie come with me. And you go have your kicks with someone who won't feel them after you've gone.
I'm not so sure that you can hurt him. Maybe more than anybody. I think you deserve all the credit in the world for bringing up a pretty marvelous guy, but bringing up a son, even a blind one, isn't a lifetime occupation. Now, the more you help him, the more you hurt him. It was Linda Fletcher, not you, who gave him what he really needed. Confidence in himself. You were always dwelling on the negative, always on his needs and never on his wants, always on what he can't do and never about what he can. And what about his music? Have you ever even heard the song he wrote? You didn't even know he could write songs. You are probably dead right about me. I'm not the ideal girl for Don, but I know one thing, neither are you. If I'm going to tell anybody to go home, Mrs. Baker, it'll be you. You go home.